This poem came to me as a result of a very frank statement made by a colleague. And her name was Hazel, and she worked at one of the companies I was with. And she showed me some of her art. She did paintings on little cards, and it was lovely. And I said, "Oh, Hazel, that's beautiful." And I said, I have written some poetry." And she said, "Oh, really?" So the next day I gave her 2 of my poems. And so I thought we were equal as artists. So I waited for her to say something about the poems. And the next day came and went, and Hazel had nothing to say. And then another day came and went, and she didn't say anything. So finally I said to her, a little annoyed, "Hazel, how did you like my poems?" And she hesitated, and she just looked really downcast. She said, "Well, I just simply don't understand poetry." And that was even more annoying to me. How could somebody not like poetry? So I went home that night somewhat agitated, and I thought, well, there are many of my students who have told me the same, and many of my colleagues. So I thought, those people who don't like poetry need a poem. So I'm going to write a poem for people that don't like poetry. And to do that, I had to exorcise some of the poetry's greatest possibilities. Its ability for metaphor, its ability for transformation, its ability to uplift. And so I wrote this following poem, bereft of any poetry depth. Ricky ticky tick tock, ricky tick tock, skipping tippy-toe tip with the clock. Bundesera boom bach, Bundesera boom ma, ripples of wavelets wash out the room. Clang bang ding dong, Coke cans clatter. What does this poem mean? Doesn't really matter. Listen to the clashes, electric ashes, Gatling gun, a-rat-tat-tat, a-rat-tat-tat, spitting out the consonants. Spraying up the minefield, splaying up the dirt, thudding cannon shells, smoking barrels spurt. Rain pitter-patter on the broken sod mat. Round rolling steel ball lands with a thud. Splotches a crater in the black wet mud.